Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going on to Bitcoin, bigger CoinsKid crew. So I did flip a little bit, not massively macro bearish, but micro bearish on Bitcoin in November and December. I said to you, I don't necessarily think there's that much room here for Bitcoin. We nailed that because this particular data point, the retail top that I've created for yourselves, nailed it again. Okay, and this is all I'm doing. I'm just relaying the data to you, not emotion, not because he said, she said, or whatever. I'm just looking at the data points. This is the reason we got it in the first place. We've rode this beautiful move up for Bitcoin is because of the data that I relayed to you many moons ago in 2022 right there when we bottomed in November and we came up in the Adamine bottom. We've got our ass back above a 20-week EMA. At that point I said to you, I think we've got a 5-wave move up to the upside here. We've got an impulsive move, and I've shown you all the resistance points along the way, and I did anticipate an all-time high for Bitcoin, and that's exactly what we've got. And like I said to you, one of the main clues was the S&P 500, which people were extremely bearish on, but like I said to you, overlapping corrective structure. I think we've got a massive impulsive move here for the S&P 500, and that is a clue within itself that Bitcoin will come up and make these all-time highs, and eventually, slowly but surely, a lot of these lagging altcoins. So it's at this point here in November, I think it was around about November the 12th, we pierced the red dotted line, in the retail top indicator. Now, historically, again, data, not emotion, just respecting the data, I did relay to you that this is an opportunity, a golden opportunity right now. If you are in your Bitcoin, and you're holding on to your Bitcoin here, you're doing it wrong. This is the time in which you need to convert your Bitcoin into some of these altcoins. And one of the altcoins we was looking at was XRP, and it was an absolute beautiful trade. On the 12th of November, I relayed that to you. Warning shot here, guys. I don't think Bitcoin's got that much room left. So from there, it sort of went, what was it, trading at around about 90k or something. Topped out 18k above 108k, and right now it's been coming down this downtrend as the retail top's triggered, giving us a warning shot that retail, basically dumb money, is shown up in droves buying the potential top of this rally for Bitcoin. So I don't necessarily think the absolute top in there, the bull market's done for Bitcoin until I start to see a little bit of structure loss and things like that. But I keep updated as best I can. But at the moment, there's no denying that Bitcoin is actually in a downtrend. So we're looking to escape that downtrend, and at that point, I will look at long opportunities and potential spot opportunities with you again for Bitcoin. But at the minute, I'm still in the sort of court that I don't necessarily think Bitcoin's got that much more to give. I'm looking at opportunities in many of the altcoins, and one of them is XRP, and it's been doing incredibly well for us against herd mentality. So how accurate is this retail top indicator? So you can clearly see it's coming up, no one's bothered, dumb money's not here, the smart money's buying Bitcoin against the herd mentality. This is all the dumb money, don't want to know about it. We had this sort of intermittent top here way back in, I think it was March last year, wasn't it, where it was a bit of FOMO, a bit of greed, but we identified a 5-wave impulse up. At that point I did flip bearish. I said to you, I think we're coming for some kind of macro correction, wave 4. And we did. It's been a beautiful little move right there. So anyway, we nailed the bottom. I think it was late August, wasn't it? We got that beautiful diamond bottom pattern. We broke out back to CLA to come up, met all the targets, made all-time highs. Fantastic. We ran into the 1.272 fib as anticipated, and we're sort of toying with that right now. So if from this point Bitcoin does roll into a macro correction and retraces the entire move from November 2022, then this trigger point was your warning shot. Okay, so again, data not emotion. This has got me thinking, okay, if I'm just kicking back and respecting the data of this particular indicator that I've created for the CoinsKid crew, it's nailed it again. At the trigger point, we've got a massive opportunity in altcoins. We've rode that, fantastic. XRP's doing incredibly well. But if Bitcoin right at this point comes up, goes sideways, and then rolls into this bear market or macro correction to where it came from, then this is an absolute boss indicator we've just got to respect going forward, and in time it will do it again. So stay tuned for that particular scenario playing out again in another 3 years or whatever, because if it does do it again, then we've got another golden opportunity against herd mentality in the crowd right there. So how accurate is this particular indicator? If we go back to the 2017 top, you can clearly see dumb money showing up in its droves. We're going to get rich, yay, but you were buying the top. Okay, at that point, Bitcoin rolled into that horrible, heinous correction right there, okay, where it bottomed a year later in December 2018, which I remember really well. And you can clearly see as the price action is coming down, retail is disappearing, dumb money's leaving the market again. So that was a trigger point for a major crash and correction for Bitcoin. And then if we take a look at this scenario way back in, I think it was 2021, April, we got a trigger point. At this point, you're coming down. This was a golden opportunity in May. The big impulse right there where we see massive moves on a lot of altcoins. At that point, you rolled into that massive macro correction where, again, you made another top for Bitcoin, another all-time high, which I think was a B wave and a bull trap. But you did trigger, again, another top right there in retail FOMO right there, okay? And it's at that point, again, retail just buggered off. Bitcoin were coming down, bottomed a year later in 2022, and right now, right on cue, as Bitcoin's topping and looking a little bit squeaky bum time, what's happened? Retail shown up in its droves. So it may be a top, or if not some kind of intermittent top, but it is a trigger warning. And I did relay this to you. For me, at this point, I don't necessarily think there's much room in Bitcoin. I'm looking at altcoin opportunities, made a lot of money on them opportunities, and so far so good. So it's all about the structure from here. It's all about the support. You know, we've got 3 waves up on a lot of coins, not necessarily 5 on a lot of these altcoins. For example, VeChain, Cardano, XRP, all 3 waves up. So if we roll into a bear market or a major crash and correction at this point, then this really is the boss indicator. Of all the indicators I've ever come across and created and made for you, this is the boss indicator going forward. So I'll keep you updated as best I can, but at the moment I don't necessarily see anything too majorly concerning in this price structure at the moment. We've obviously hit some kind of downtrend from the top, but there may be a potential reversal pattern forming just there for Bitcoin. So I'll dive in on charts in a moment, but so far so good. You know, we are crushing this market, okay, especially for XRP. For anyone paying attention, we are absolutely crushing them waves for XRP. Let me dive into the Bitcoin chart with you right now, see what we can see, okay? So in late 2022, November, at the bottom right there, I did relay, you know, looking at this, Bitcoin looks like a buy January 2023 and a sell 2025. Will the cycles keep repeating? Is it really that simple? Okay, and I remember at the time, it never felt like it was that simple, but there was a beautiful reversal pattern down there that I did spot and relay to the CoinsKid crew. I made a video called the 5 waves of death as well. And my outlook for Bitcoin with a 5-wave move up in an impulsive move that would make all-time highs. And you can clearly see I did make a typo. I didn't mean January 2025. I meant January 2026, the sell point right there. So in theory, if we are just respecting the cycles, okay, we should not really have that much room left in Bitcoin. The opportunity from this point is in altcoins, and this is something I've been relaying to you because it was the opportunity in 2021, it was the opportunity in 2017. So in 2025, this could actually be the year of the altcoins, you know. And I've been looking at the Bitcoin dominance with you and many other things as well to give us confidence to that particular analysis. So far so good. I don't necessarily see any reason to be overly bearish on altcoins at the moment. Okay, we've got the trigger point on the retail top, which is always gives us a clue to a big major altcoin run, and this is what we may have seen, the first impulse off that particular retail top indicator right there. So I'll dive in a moment, but you know, respectfully, if we are looking at cycles, then we do enter a bear market or major crash and correction this year for the crypto market. So I'll try and time that as best as I can, but obviously I've not got a crystal ball. It is all about price structure over everything, cycles, indicators, whatever. The price structure is absolute boss, so I'll keep you updated as best as I can with any, you know, targets and things like that, or bearish outlook that, you know, does produce itself in the charts. But going forward, you know, we're doing well here for Bitcoin. A lot of people say we're not, but we are. We've done really well. We're buying all that blood, fear and depression in late 2022. I relayed the opportunities to you, and so far so good. But you know, I did say to you, once I start to see Bitcoin come up in 5 waves, you'll start to see me get bearish on Bitcoin and more cautious. And this is how I am on every single chart, not just Bitcoin, okay? As we're approaching 5-wave territory. So for me, if you're paying attention, XRP's in 3 waves, Chainlink's in 3 waves, VeChain, Cardano, all those altcoins are in 3 waves, right on cue with the altcoin opportunity of 2025. Let me dive into the Bitcoin chart right now to see what we can see, okay? So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, way back when in November, got the beautiful Adam and Eve bottom, we've got the break above the 100-day EMA, equally the 20-week EMA as well, the thick yellow line. I relayed to you how much of an opportunity this was and a golden signal right there in January 2023. I made a video and this is my expected outlook. You know, I even drew this in here, some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, because these are your resistance points along the way. Like I said to you, break out in the falling wedge, back test, looking at an expanded flat correction. We'll come up to this leg here, have a correction, which we did, ABC. We'll come up to the all-time high of a correction, which we did, ABC, and then boom, we break out on a final 5th wave. So, you know, respectfully right there, what we do have is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. Now, I know there are many other bullish camps, okay, and I'm seeing them. There's some kind of 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is a 3, 4, 3, 4, something like that. And obviously that's absolutely possible. But, you know, even if that is the case and we start to hold support and break out and do something like that, I do think we are really running out of steam here for Bitcoin. And one of the major things I'm looking at is the, you know, the divergences that we have on the daily time frame, equally on the weekly time frame. If you take a look at massive divergence just there between this pivot high and this pivot high, we're still making lower highs. And equally, one of the most important things I think is a monthly. If we take a look at this monthly candle close just there, and then this monthly candle close just there, we've printed a massive bearish divergence on the daily time, on the monthly time frame, sorry. So again, you know, I think this is part of the pullback coming back. And equally, what we do have here as another bearish signal is the shooting star, you know, bearish candlestick formation. formation. So there's all a chance, and again, I've not got a crystal ball, but there is all the chance that Bitcoin's cooked at this level. You know, this is for me why I'm not necessarily taking any more risk on Bitcoin here. I'm looking at altcoin opportunities, and one of those has been XRP. It's been an amazing ride for myself. But if we do go again, okay, and this is not necessarily the end of the run, okay, and we've got some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup and a last leg within 5, then I anticipate that this white line here, which was a top there and a top here as well, this will be met. And okay, that's where you enter your big bear market or your big crash and correction in 2025 right there. So we'll keep an eye on this. If we escape this bearish divergence and we invalidate that bearish shooting star candlestick formation on the monthly time frame, which technically is a bearish statement, if we begin to invalidate it, which is absolutely possible, I do still think we're in last wave territory here, where push towards this line, and then you've got your bigger macro correction right there. So I keep relaying it till I'm blue in the face. I don't necessarily think there's that much opportunity here for Bitcoin for me to take on the risk to the upside. There's minimal return, basically. That's what I'm looking at. So if we start to go again, you can clearly see we're coming up, we're toying with the 1.272. We're having some kind of correction on it. If we do start to go again, I think we've got resistance on the 1414, 117k, and I think we could potentially top out if we do go again at a 1.618, $157,869. And obviously if we do start to go absolutely vertical and insane, then I'm looking at a 2 fib at 273. But again, from here, if we take a look at that, so far so good. From here right now, you're looking at what, another 22%, and then today you're looking at 63%. You'll see altcoins do that in a day, in my opinion, because this is the point at which we are in this market, where if we are in last wave territory for Bitcoin, where we do begin to enter that bear market at some point this year, then this opportunity in this room for Bitcoin that potentially comes is in altcoins. It really is that simple. So I'll try and keep you updated as best I can, but so far so good. I don't necessarily see anything to be overly bearish with on Bitcoin. We've possibly got some kind of falling wedge here. We're getting really, really tight, looking to break it on the 3rd point resistance. If we start to go again, then I think you'll see a major move up in the likes of Cardano, VeChain, Chainlink, XRP, so on and so forth, coming up. So, what could we be looking at this year? So let's say, for example, we've got a last leg here for Bitcoin. It's coiling up. This is a wave 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this bolts like this towards this level. For the next couple of months. At this point, this is where we could enter a bear market at this point, because we entered a bear market in April of 2021 right there. We could have another run towards the spring right there, and then enter that big macro correction that comes back down to this low. Really, really simple. So I'll keep you updated as best I can. But what I'm looking at is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. We're in the last wave territory here for Bitcoin. So we're going to keep relaying. If we are, and we are right on cue with the cycle, the last sort of upside here for Bitcoin in the 4-year cycle theory, then the altcoins are going to absolutely explode. Now, is there any confluence to that? Well, if we take a look at the total chart right now for the crypto market cap, you can clearly see we've got this beautiful parabolic growth curve from this expanded flat ABC. This is the total 2 chart excluding Bitcoin and its market cap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. This is your last leg. So this is basically an inverse head and shoulders pattern, a cup and handle pattern. There's your handle, your breakout, your back test of the neckline, holding support, and if you start to go again, there's your appreciation in altcoins, okay, and there's a confluence of that. So for me, I'm looking at many altcoins opportunities. For example, Cardano's coming in a 1, it's had a 2, right now it's in a 3, it's pulling back in a 4, and it's got a final 5th wave ahead of it, in my opinion. So I wish you utmost luck going forward, okay. I do have many targets on many altcoins, but so far so good. I wish you utmost luck. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care everyone, back to a new update on Bitcoin. Bye bye.